WJG Sports. We journal great.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Just Like Brothers podcast, episode number 66. Here with Coach Key Benton. His phone almost fell. That's the social distancing problems. Here, Kai Jones here with my co-host like BB, and we have a special guest, Key Benson from the Field of Dreams Post-Grad Academy, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gotcha. And, we're having him on today. He's going to tell us a little bit about, post-grad football and, kind of how it works. So, Coach, how did you get into coaching?
So, it was about 3 years ago. I was playing semi-pro, and we was going through practice. And, I was telling the guys how to go through the play, breaking it down. And one of the guys was just like, man, you have coached before. He was like, the way you broke that down, like, you're a coach. I coached when I was at Chowan University at my high school as a student coach. And I had been around coaching Greg Watford of North Pitt ever since. So that's pretty much like my mentor, if you would. But anyway, introduced me to the head coach. I interviewed for the position with the post grad that he had in Virginia, based out of Hampton, Virginia, the Gators, as you see, Gators football. And I pretty much went for there. That was who I did my first season with. And ever since then, I just, been running with it. So this will be going into my fourth year now.
Gotcha. And, of course, you are a 252 native from Hertford County. Talk to me a little bit about how did you get into football?
Home of the Bears, of course, Hertford County. It was just, I grew up around it, my older cousin, Mike Madrick, he was the running back on the football team. His best friend, D-Tron, he was the fullback on the football team. And those guys were part of amazing years in Hertford County football. Like, I just fell in love with the game. Watching those guys play on Friday night, man, it was something special. That old Big 8 conference, like we were just saying a while ago when we were talking, just watching those Friday nights in the old Big 8, like seeing Julius Peppers and seeing those guys, Curtis DeLoach, Jason Horton, D-Tron Powell, Mont Moore. It was just the love of the game, man. From there, even in my high school yearbook, it said I wanted to be a PE teacher. I knew, like, early that this is what I wanted to do, some form of coaching. Coach Watford got to Hertford County at the end of my senior year. He convinced me to go to Elizabeth City. Went to Elizabeth City, ended up being out there for 2 years, tore my patella, transferred home to Chowan University. Things didn't work out at Chowan. Then, I was out of football, away from football until I went into semi-pro in 2016. And from there, football just came back full force.
Where did you play your semi-pro ball at?
In Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah, ECFA, AFCA, WFFL, Mustangs, the Sharks, Wildcats, Panthers. It's been all over, man. We got a bunch of guys right now that's getting ready for the semi-pro season. Hopefully, those guys get it in. That's something else that's not real big in the 252 semi-pro football. But it's a way for a lot of guys to let off a lot of steam, man. I know a lot of guys, that's like therapy for them. They can't wait for that Saturday to get there. It's been a long week with the old lady and the kids and the family and the job. And, a lot of guys, I hate to use a cliche, it saves a lot of guys' lives, but it does. You know what I mean? It's just a true fact. The game of football itself saves a lot of guys. Guys get to see the world in different ways. They get to go play overseas. They get to go a chance to get an education at different colleges they'd have never seen before. Um, I know we were supposed to be talking about prep school football, but NAIA football is another big one that we don't know about in the 252. Um, your grades need to be a little bit better, but that's nothing wrong with it. Um, Generally, you need a 3.0. I look at it like this. Uh, in most places, a 2.0 gets you eligible for high school football, high school sports in general. You need a 2.3 for GPA to just be eligible for the NCAA as a freshman. So we're already doing the kids a disservice with requiring them to have a 2.0. You know what I mean? Um, we're giving them the bare minimum, and then you have a lot of kids that really would excel if they were eligible to play in college football. A lot of lives would be changed and would go a different route. Um, I mean, let's just be honest. If you take the average top athlete from the 252 that's ineligible, because we run into a lot of them, um, they could play with the top eligible athlete around the country any day of the week. Um, Even down to the kids, man, even down to youth football. When we take the kids, they can play with any kid in the country. You know what I mean? A group of kids came up from Edenton and Hereford County and played in the first Legacy Bowl. You know, and on the middle school level, and they hung with kids that played for AAU teams that are ranked that already had high school offers, even eighth grade. I mean, already had college offers, Power 25 offers, and they hung with them. It was only 11 kids, mind you, and they hung with them into double overtime. And the team from Virginia won off a screen to a kid that's in the eighth grade, but was about my size, and I'm 5'10" and a half, 235 right now. You know what I mean? And hey, you get tired of tackling that kid all game long when it's just 11 kids and we're going both ways. You see what I'm saying? So they can't tell me anywhere outside the 252 we don't have the talent to play with kids, play with guys. You know what I mean? A lot of places, these scouts, they say that the coach is not the same East of 95 that it is out in Charlotte. Um, I, 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 I can't call it what I want to call it, but it's that's just not what it is. They just have more opportunities to train and get better out west. Point blank. Period. You know what I mean? Maybe because they're in a closer area, everything's a closer drive together. That may be the case, but um, out in Elizabeth City, it's a group of guys that are doing amazing things. LaKendrick Lee, um, Doug Williams, and Mr. Davis. Javon Davis, they're doing amazing things, and they're trying to bring things together in the whole 252 that should have been done long ago. Um, it's it's going to take a group effort.
Right.
Absolutely. I was gonna say, I know you did get a little bit sidetracked after talking about the semi-pro beginnings and stuff, but
Yeah.
I believe that it's all good, dude. This is your show, man. Don't worry about it. The 252 is an under recruited area still. I still think it's not just for football. It's for just about every sport. It seems that it gets overlooked, and maybe there are more opportunities to play football, like train and do other things in other parts of North Carolina, but really the 252 is still growing, and there's a huge media presence here now, and kids are starting to get looks because we've tried, like, it's not just been Kai and myself, but it's been a whole bunch of people that have been trying to put these people on and help these kids represent themselves and have a platform to where they can show that they're good at sports. And I was going to transition a little bit into the Prep Sports Academy. What was kind of your start there, and what have you guys tried to build at the Field of Dreams?
I was approached by Coach Alverson from Charlotte. I coached with him at the Legacy Bowl. Well, I met him during the Legacy Bowl, and we hit it off. And he called me. I was coming back from New Jersey, um, and I said I didn't think I was gonna coach. I was just gonna, stay local, get a regular job, um, and and be a regular dad. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And he called me and he was like, "It's a good guy. It's a good situation." Gave me the rundown. So I called Coach Holland down in Tampa, and we chopped it up for about an hour. And at the end of the conversation, he was just like, "Listen, um, I know you mentioned that you started coaching O line when you coached originally, and when you was a student coach, and just talking to you about blocking and different stuff. We need an O line coach, which I had coached defense at post grad level. I was a defense coordinator, D line coach, D linebackers. Um, so I was like, yeah, no problem, I'll do it. Um, Coaching is about teaching. You know what I mean? And I was a physical education major. I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. Um, Working with kids is one of the most important things you can do in life, especially guys like us, guys from the 252, guys of color. Um, they look at us a little bit differently. You know what I mean? And like I told Kai before, my whole story about becoming a post grad coach was a typical 252 story, a story of hustle, a story of grind. You know what I mean? Um, so being able to say that I can help another kid make it out of the 252 or get another chance means more to me than uh, going off and and coaching at a major D1 school. Um, Somebody asked me the other day what was my dream, and I really want to have a sports academy in the 252. Um, Major thing with post grad is housing. Um, and I feel like if I could put a school somewhere in the 252 where everything's pretty much an hour drive away or so, I wouldn't need to house as many kids. Um, if I maybe just house 10 to 20 kids, that would be perfect. Um, because we've got skill positions galore in the 252.
Yes, we
Um, I think with us being a hoop state and everybody pretty much growing up playing basketball in some way or form, um, that helps our skill players.
Right.
So
Right. Of course, you get the great athletes, who grow up playing point guard and two guard. They become great wide receivers and DBs and running backs. Um, but when you look at it, post grad football isn't something that I or many people from around here have ever heard of. So what are kind of some of the details that go into how post grad is how post grad was maybe done, and what are the benefits for it, and how are some of the things that could be changed, or some of the things that you think are important whenever you're trying to pick out a post grad to play football at.
well, post grad is. I know you guys heard of post grad basketball.
Right.
So
yeah.
let me do this. What do you guys know about post grad basketball?
And I think that's the thing too. I don't really know too much about post grad basketball. I know that it does exist, and I do know that there are classes that can be taken. But for the most part, I don't know too much about it. I don't know about you, like, what do you know?
I know a lot of talent comes through post grad basketball for a way to like see if their recruitment can be opened up and see if you can get a lot more scholarship offers or get a higher level of coaches and like exposure and stuff like that. At least from my perspective. So
Yeah.
what do you think, Coach?
Let me plug my phone up. She's dying on me.
It's all good.
So post grad traditionally, uh, you would have heard of Fort Union.
Yep.
Uh, those guys, Fort Union. What was the other? Hargrave. Those were
Yep.
traditional prep schools. Um, what
Correct.
it was up until 2015 or 2016, I can't remember the exact year. You could go in. The NCAA gives you a year from the time you graduate to the time you start college to add to your high school resume. So up until I'm gonna say 2016, I believe it was 2016, that you could add 6 classes.
Mm-hmm.
So you could replace 6 credits. So think of what your GPA would do if you replace 6 credits. So after 2016, they made it so you could only take one class, replace one class. You can
Correct.
still retake the SAT or the ACT.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's when Hargrave dropped football. So now it's just Sport Union. Uh, as of this year, IMG Academy has post
Yeah.
grad football. We
Yep.
do have them on the schedule. Um, I'm not sure if ASA Miami is going to do post grad this year or not. It had been rumblings of those guys having one. Milford Academy up north. Um, they're one of the older post grads. They basically took an old high school, a couple of classes in there, and you just go in and you take at a traditional post grad route. You're going to take NCAA approved high school course.
Yep.
Um, with us at Field of Dreams, you take American High School online courses. Um, Kids this year with COVID got a reprieve. They didn't need an SAT to be eligible for the clearinghouse. They
Yeah.
just needed a 2.3 um, and 10 core credits. Normally, any other year they would need 16 core credits, but this year they only need 10. So it is my understanding that they can take up to 6 core credits this year.
I see.
So I'm still waiting for my academic advisor to verify, but I believe they can retake up to 6 core credits.
Yeah.
So think about how many kids that still didn't get eligible that's about to go JUCO and waste 2 years because, as we know, once you go JUCO and take that first semester, you have to graduate from that point if you're ineligible um, with the clearinghouse. So
Yeah.
you get to save 2 years, and there's only about 380 JUCO scholarships in the country.
Right.
So unless you're getting a JUCO scholarship, why go pay um, for education and burn 2 years when you could come in and more than likely pay less than you would have ended up paying? Now I know for us it's 16,000, 16,500 for a semester. That's everything included. Um, uh, there are some programs that go as low as 5,000. Now, what I tell guys when you're looking at a program that's charging you 5,000 to live for 3 months and feed you and travel to football games and have insurance on you,
Mm-hmm.
um, you need to make sure all that's in cover. Um, there are a lot of fly-by-night preps that pop up. I know a lot of people were worried when they saw that we're new post grad. One thing about it is Dr. Holland, Mr. Holland, and myself. We both have been in programs that fail because business plans want the best. A lot of these schools, to get the better athletes, they'll cut them a deal, and you're already running on the borderline minimum funding anyway that you're getting strictly from your tuition being paid. Now you're cutting deals, so now what are you cutting corners on? Um, we do have financial backers, investors that are helping us, and to make sure that we don't run into that problem, um, we have financing available on our tuition. Um, I tell parents to always take the financing because you guarantee 2 things. One, if you get the financing, you make the down payment to get the rest financed, they're going to cut us a check for the tuition. So your kid's tuition is paid. Um, Two, if you run into a problem making your monthly payment with the finance company, it's just like a regular loan. They're not going to come report your child. You know what I mean? So if you're dealing with a school that's in-house financing and you're missing payments, 9 times out of 10, unless he's a stud on the team, they're going to send your kid home. So now the money you paid is lost. Your kid isn't going to finish the program that he needs. You know what I mean? Um, so you wasting time and money. And the most important thing is to make sure they're taking classes that are NCAA accredited.
Absolutely.
Right.
Okay. Um, how do I say this? Okay. So when you take, you guys know how the NCAA clock works?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so some preps have kids taking classes at a local community college.
Right.
Okay, so if you're taking classes at a local community college, two things. One, most colleges require you to have 24 credit hours to transfer in.
Hmm.
Two, if you take 12 credit hours at any point, your clock is starting. So technically, you're at a JUCO. So now you're going to need a JUCO degree to graduate.
And then move to a 4-year school.
Then you have to move to a 4-year school.
Right.
So you need to know if you're taking college prep classes, which are just high school classes again, or if you're taking college classes, which can start your clock. In which case, then you're going to need a degree to be eligible.
I see.
Also, if you're going to go that route, make sure they're taking SACS classes versus TRACS classes. TRACS classes don't transfer to all colleges. They generally only transfer to faith-based colleges. So you want to be aware of that. SACS is a regionally accredited program. They generally transfer to most colleges. That's the better route to go if you're going to go that route. You should also know if you're going to go the JUCO route, if you're going to go traditional JUCO, say you're going to go to Lewisburg, you need to be aware of the fact that they do give academic scholarships based on your GPA and SAT score.
Yep.
So let's be honest, if you're going JUCO, your academics aren't the strongest anyway.
I see. And I really think that and Lewisburg is kind of a different case from the other JUCOs because they're private JUCOs, so they're going to have maybe a little more academic scholarship type based deals depending on how well you do in the classroom.
Correct. But if you say you're a kid that's coming in with a 2.2 GPA and a 750 SAT, how many academic scholarships are you really going to qualify for?
Right.
It's probably not. It's probably not going to be many at least from the junior college route.
And you don't. Oh, I'm sorry. And they don't do athletic scholarships.
Yeah, because
So.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, it's good information. I think that like having like when you're really trying to get to a next level, like grades are going to be so important no matter where you go, and because junior college athletics is so different in terms of what they can offer in terms of academic and financial aid. Like it's just different that route.
Yeah. Like ASA Miami, like I was saying, my homeboy's a quarterbacks coach. On top of athletic money, they've got a list of scholarships that you write one essay for, you qualify for like 15 different scholarships. So
Oh wow!
you can mess around and end up in Miami living on the beach for free for 2 years. All you gotta do is go to class and play football.
I was gonna say, I'm sure Kai with that hat on would be perfect in Miami. I know it's an LA hat. I was just messing, but he's out here looking like Big Pun.
Who are you guys' favorite teams, like football wise?
I'm a Cowboys fan.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
And that concludes the Just Like Brothers podcast. I'm just playing.
No.
Well,
He's a Patriots fan.
yeah.
Listen, I respect that. I can give you that because okay, so college football. I'm just the only sport I have two teams: Florida State and Michigan. And like Tom Brady's been the
And
only
Brady
thing
went
we've
to
had.
Yeah.
You feel me? He's been the only thing we've had. So like I've been on the Tom bandwagon from year one when he took him on the Magic Carpet ride, and it's like for me to be in Tampa because I'm in Murfreesboro right now. I'm still in the 252.
Yeah.
I don't leave the next week. I'm actually working a camp out in Charlotte next week. It's a full contact camp. We go over everything at the camp: financial literacy, proper weight room and nutrition, and
Sounds good.
yeah, Alpha Packs Athletics.
Did we lose you, Keith? Oh, we might have lost him. Let's see.
See, you put it. It says a pause. Oh,
Oh, there
we
we
go.
go.
Hey, yeah.
I think we lost you for a
Hey, you
second
know what's
there.
crazy?
Go ahead.
You know what's crazy? So I'm telling you guys about the camp. The camp director was just called me. That's what made the call.
Ah.
So yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm gonna send
Oh,
you guys the
okay.
links. Alpha Packs Athletics. He nailed down the deal with ESPN. So what's gonna happen if everything goes right with this COVID stuff? Somewhere around Christmas or the beginning of the year, we're gonna have a bowl game in Miami. You know, so that's another youth game for the guys. I do coach with Diamond Sports with that I did coach at their Myrtle Beach event last year. It's a fantastic event. I love it. I suggest as many kids from the 252 get involved with it. Um, I, I'm a big fan of the local All Star games that we have, but anytime you get to play kids from around the country, um, hey, it's looked at a little bit different. And not to drop insider information or anything. One of the big wigs with Diamond Sports, he's a big wig with Rydell. So, he knows a lot of guys in the recruiting world. So, um, what they don't tell us is it's not what you know and what you do, it's who you know.
Right.
Um, you can be a dog on film, but if you or your coach don't know the right person to get it to, you need Twitter. You better go viral. YouTube, hey,
Right.
Sevion Tut, prime example. He was already a dog and had a lot of offers, but I know he skyrocketed after that video went viral.
Right.
Facts. Absolutely. I was gonna say, I feel like the social media age kind of has made a lot of people like, skyrocket. People see them, then it gets to certain people, and all of a sudden there's like so many offers rolling in. It just seems
Right.
like that's kind of been the the deal. But in terms of the Field of Dreams, you do recruit around the 252 and the 757 area code. So like Virginia Beach, Hampton Roads, all of that.
Well, our receivers coach played at Shaw. Um,
Uh,
he left there with a bunch of records. Julius Gregory. Um, and then our running backs coach Pac-Man, um, Johnny Somerville, he played at Norfolk State. And both of those guys are from Portsmouth. So, and then of course
yeah.
I spent 8 years in Virginia off and on. So, you know, the 757 and the 252 gets a lot of priority with us. Um, if it was up to me, all of these top recruits that need JUCO from the 252, I'd have those guys in Tampa and we'd be balling out. Coach Holland played baseball at A&T. So, you know, we were looking at trying to get a game. If we could have got somebody from up north that wanted to play, we would have met in Carolina and played. Um, he wanted to play in Charlotte. I wanted to play in Rocky Mount, um, or Elizabeth City or Greenville. Um, I want to get as much stuff here as possible. I want another sportsplex built. I want one built in Hertford County. I feel like if we put one right here, like I said, we're an hour from Virginia. We're 2 hours from everybody else at the farthest in the 252. We can always pretty much guarantee we can get media outlets here to see us. You know what I mean? I-64 Sports with Jamal Hawkins. That is a black-owned media outlet. Um, Covers a lot of sports in the 757. That's my guy, man. Um, he'll come down whenever we wanted to put something together. Um, if you guys want to do an event, man, like with Field of Dreams Sports Academy, we have a 501c3. So, a lot of the gyms and schools give you deals when you have a 501c3. So, um, we're always looking to uh, build community relations in the area. Before COVID hit, we had planned to do a scholarship fund for one of the kids that's coming um, in Murfreesboro. Um, his dad was my homeboy. He was killed. It was 10 years ago, a little bit over 10 years ago now. So that's my guy. I look at him as like nephew pretty much. But he put up great numbers. Pretty sure you guys heard of him at Hereford County this past season. Arion Holly,
Yep.
you know, that's nephew. He's gonna be going with me to Field of Dreams Sports Academy. Um, and I've got a few things working thus far for him. He was already a qualifier, so I don't ever want anybody to think he wasn't a qualifier. I don't really know what happened with this situation. Is not as far as him not getting an offer, but you know, um, all those guys in Hereford County, in northeastern North Carolina, that somebody sent me their information. I sent out over like 100 emails. So, you know, Hampton, I sent them crazy tweets. You guys see it. I tagged them. I used to tag those guys endlessly. Recruiters, like that's what it takes, man. Like you really
It's
gotta,
true. No, you're right. You're right.
really gotta aggravate these guys because at the HBCU level, I know a lot of coaches say they don't get hit back and coaches don't hit them back. Not to make excuses for HBCU coaches, but funding, man. You don't have two or three GAs going through film and going through emails. They're doing all themselves, plus preparing game plans and preparing positions every week. And yeah, communication could be better. I won't ever say that it couldn't. As you guys know, I'm a part of the HBCU union. I'm based out of Virginia. We formed this year. Before COVID, we was gonna have the first ever HBCU mega camp out of Virginia Beach. We invited every HBCU in the country. Um, at Virginia Union, those coaches were the coaches that was in Elizabeth City when I was there. Coach Hand, the receivers coach, a native of Hereford County. Monterio Hand, that's Big Bro. He was part of that gang that I grew up watching that made me fall in love with football. So, you know, I was a knucklehead when I went to college. I did do what I was supposed to do. You know, went to two colleges. So I know what kids are going through. I know what it's like to come from the 252 and get a chance to go to college. I didn't get a college scholarship in football because I was a knucklehead in high school. I had a 1050 on the SAT with a 2.0 GPA. So I was one of those guys that, you know, didn't take it seriously but could get it done. So I understand that there's some ton of kids in the area that go through the same things. And post-grad football is a way to do it and save them a little bit of money and save them eligibility.
Right.
You know, the one thing I'm wondering is who was probably the best player that you played with at Hereford County?
That I played with?
Yeah.
That I played with on the football field, Reginald Redbone Wiggins.
Gotcha.
You know, he signed with A&T. Him and man, we had a lot, man. Brandon Long, he signed with A&T as well.
Yep.
Which is crazy because all of us are cousins. That's how it is out in the country. We're all cousins, all from a little town called Como, North Carolina. Redbone's dad was the man back in the day in the area. So, you know, Curtis Deloach, he was ahead of me. He played for the Giants. His claim to fame was he was the guy that fell on the fumble on the block punt when the Saints went back into the dome. He scored the first touchdown back in the dome. Jason Horton, he played for the Packers and the Raiders. Detron Powell, who was probably the best player on that senior class with Curtis and Jason. My man put up it was something like 1,700 rushing yards and 26 touchdowns at the fullback position. They had a quarterback that threw for 1,000 yards. Man, it's been so many to come through Hereford County that if they had a known of prep school, that they had went somewhere and had a chance to get their grades together and then had an extra year to just get exposed, it would have been so much better, man. I love all the old coaches at Hereford County. Don't get me wrong at all. I love those guys. Coach Saxby is my guy. And Coach Saxby is my guy. And, you know, I love to see my guy run his ship just run his ship his way. You know what I mean? And get to take that run to the title. I've been around it for 20 years. Yeah,
They had
just
a
about
great
20 now. Huh?
I'm sorry to interrupt. I was going to say they had a great season this past year, going 11-3, and he's been a part of a lot of winning seasons in recent years for Hertford County too. So they're going to be a player in the 2A division this year, I'm sure. Of course, Northeast North Carolina, there's so many good teams up there. I mean, there's Northeastern, there's Hertford County, there's Manio, there's plenty. Edenton. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of like really good programs in that area too. So, but Hertford County should definitely be a player, especially with what they have coming back.
They are a great team coming back with some great senior leadership. With Fashawn Wright, we call him 8 Ball. He plays free safety. He's gonna be a rover or a corner in college. They play him in the box. That's actually my little cousin. Um, his mom Shannon we grew up together. She was like a big sister. Um, Quentin Wright, he plays safety. Ty Saxby, the quarterback. Um, they've got some kids, man, that are just absolute dogs and they will get after it. They've got a new line coach, Bladen Gatlin, who's a Hertford County alumni. He's a Bear through and through. Played at ECSU, and ECU. Um, he's gonna take that line play to another level. They're really gonna be able to protect Ty a little bit better, I believe, this year. And if you protect Ty Saxby and keep him upright, and let my guy stand there and deliver the football, it's gonna be some good days for Hertford County, man. I've looked at their schedule. It's nothing too strenuous for them. They should be able to make a good run into the playoffs. Um, Actually, you know what? Coach Saxby's been around Hertford County football since they started making that run back with my senior class in 2003. He was a student coach from Chowan at that point. Um, uh, he was in and out from between there and Chowan and Hertford County Middle School pretty much the whole time through. So, a lot of people may look at him as an outsider around the state because, traditional Hertford County tends to go back with local guys as coaches. But to me, he's been here and paid his dues up through the ranks. So, I send out a lot of film on those guys' behalf because I know what he goes through coaching in Hertford County, man. It's a lot and a lot of shoes to fill, a lot of big shoes to fill. So I try to help my guys as much as possible. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Coach Privet over at Northampton County. That's my
Right.
guy. He works with me with anything I need. He really cares about the kids. Um, Coach Biggie over at Gates. I've been around Coach Biggie since middle school, high school times. He went to Chowan. He was a student coach in the Hertford County school ranks. Um, Coach Moore out at Northeastern. Whenever I call my guy, he works with me on anything I need. LaKendrick Lee Sr. Uh, he's the strength and conditioning coach for the Elizabeth City State women's basketball team, AGY. That's my guy, teammate from high school, went to college together. He's really out here with Javon Davis and Mr. Dub Williams. Those guys are really trying to help kids in the 252, man. It's a group of guys that are really trying to put on and get the 252 sports up to where it needs to be. Um, Guys like yourself in 252 sports giving the kids a media outlet. It's major, man. It's something that's needed. So, you know, it's an exciting time for me to see what's going on in the 252. Um, how old are you guys?
We
I'm
are
25.
24.
24, okay. So you guys, I don't know if you guys ever saw Marcus Bond from Hertford County, but
Uh, I,
guys like this, man. Antonio Vaughn, he played at ODU. He's from Hertford County. I think you guys might be in the same age bracket. He was actually in school. What high school did you guys go to?
we,
We both private school kids.
Hey, it's still the 252 though.
well,
He actually went to Greensboro. He's from Greensboro, so he's a 336 kid. And I actually went to a school here in Goldsboro, 919 kid technically. I mean, but you know,
Wayne
252
County is
and
pretty much like it feels like 252 to me, but it's officially a 919 area code. I mean, but Wayne County's this has been special to us. We kind of cover, of course, we cover Wayne Johnson, Greene County, and I cover some areas in the 252 myself, from Pitt County and all the surrounding counties, pretty much. So, like, we've really tried to build something that was for the student athletes, for the community, and there are plenty of other people that have done that. I mean, we've shouted out Anthony Bruton, Trey Corden, Jay Anderson, Charles Clark. Those are people. There's plenty of others I can name. Antonio Wiggins, Street Side Nation. I know he's been up to the northeast part of the state many times. You got something? You got something?
Yeah, the baseball coach. I was at a baseball game in Hoskin, North Carolina, like 2 weeks ago. The baseball coach, he's at one of the schools down there. He played at UNC. He was coaching Legion Ball last year until they got rid of the Legion Ball. I can't think of his name. Hey, I need to get in contact with that guy because we do have baseball at Field of Dreams Sports Academy. And it's on the website. If you click on it, they got to finish updating everything. But
it's basketball, baseball, and football, right?
Just football and baseball right now.
Oh, football and baseball. Okay.
We're gonna try to get basketball eventually. We're working on finishing up. COVID hit before we could lock down our indoor training facility, so we're getting that stuff taken care of, and then we're gonna start looking. Excuse me, this water's got me. Trying to stay hydrated.
Hey,
trying to stay hydrated, baby.
I got my exactly. I got my water here. I'm actually out, but it's all good. Yeah. Continue. I'm sorry.
But there is a post grad in Elizabeth City. If you contact LaKendrick Lee, he'll be able to help you with that because he's the strength conditioning coordinator as well. I'll get you guys his information when we get off the air. But yeah, that's bro. For all the frats out there, he's an alpha guy. So I know you guys like that. I didn't pledge myself, but for all you frat guys out there, but yeah, man. Basketball post grads are a little bit more well known, as you guys were saying. They're easier to do. It's easier to get 10, 15 guys together, throw them in 2 apartments, and get takeout every night. That's essentially what some programs are. But we have housing. Campus Palms is where the housing is. Our kids have 12-month leases. That's included in the $16,000. We have a weight room on site. We have volleyball court on site, basketball court on site, pool on site. For the kids that want to know, the guys that are asking, yes, there are going to be girls from USF staying in the apartment complex. They love that, So, I mean, if you're a kid from the 252 and you go to Tampa from the end of July to the end of November, you know what I'm saying? You probably don't want to come back. You might want to do the 10-month program because you don't want to be home during the cold time. I want to be in Tampa, But, I mean, I'll give you an example. Fort Union is $22,000 with $16,000. IMG, I believe, is $46,000 or $48,000 a semester.
And that's probably right. The guys looked just now when you heard that number. It was like, what? But yeah, it's about right for IMG. Yeah, I mean, it's all about fit too. I mean, it's really like it's all about fit and financial fit as well. Like not just the sports stuff, but the financial stuff. So it feels. I mean,
you gotta want it. The kids gotta want it too.
Yeah,
now,
that too.
I will say that. Parents out there that is gonna see this, I'm gonna tell you that your child. If you believe your child's gonna come in and do these online classes the correct way, we're gonna have tutors for them. That's the route to go. Save that money that you're gonna pay for 2 years. I mean, you can bank on you're only gonna have to pay out of pocket student loans for 2 years. So what's the maximum Pell Grant? Either of you guys know? Isn't it like 7,000?
I believe it's at least when I was in school. I believe it was like 12,000.
Okay, so 12,000. Okay, so Lewisburg's 28,000. So you get 12. You're still responsible for $16,000.
Right.
So you see what I'm saying? So you're already, and you're gonna have to burn 2 years of eligibility. You might as well go with me to Tampa, pay 16. And if you're a lineman, this is what we're doing for linemen, offensive or defensive linemen, $8,000.
Wow.
And that's simply because, to be honest with you, I can get more scouts on campus to recruit skilled players if I got a bunch of dogs in the trenches.
Right.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people, they out here training skilled guys 100 miles an hour. There's 100 trainers. They're doing 100 crazy different drills that don't translate to the game. They're getting crazy amounts of money per hour. Like, and I train kids. 9 times out of 10, it's somebody that I'm related to, being in the country, so I don't charge them. But at the most, I charge $20 an hour for the youth, for under high school, because under high school is harder to train.
Mm-hmm.
If you got a group of 10 or more, it's $10 per kid. I got DB trainers, receiver trainers. One thing about me, I play in the trenches. I play linebacker and semi-pro. I'm not going. I was self-taught linebacker, but I play. Trenches is what I know. So I'm gonna coach what I know. I'm gonna find somebody that I know that can coach another skill position. I'm not gonna take your money and have your kid out here looking crazy. That's what kills me. I know I probably look crazy to the people that's gonna see this, but I hate when people take advantage of the kids. Like right now, all of these camps that are going on. Tell me what your kid's benefiting from.
I see what you mean.
All of these exposure camps. The camps that are for skill and reps and to get better, that's something different. But we're talking exposure camps. Unless you see a coach tag that name to that camp on Twitter or social media and say, I will be viewing the live stream, don't get got for this money out here, man. If your kid hasn't been training during COVID, period, don't send them to these camps. Don't waste your money to put them out there to risk the chance of being seen, putting out bad film.
Right.
Those are the 5 biggest killers. It's a list of that recruiters have of the 5 things that makes a kid unrecruitable: poor grades, poor attitude, poor film, parents, and the 5th is character. Yeah, I saw your face. Parents really got you, right? Parents are a headache. Parents are a headache, and you can Google it. It's a list, and it's literal. I promise you, you can Google it. I know you see it on Twitter all the time, but those parents are there yelling at officials, yelling at coaches from the stands. Listen, if it's a recruiter there to see your kid, they see that. They're making a note of that. For you just running up on them after the game, or the parents extra pushy, or I got to recruit for you coaches that got kids. If there's a coach there that's not to see your kid, unless he mentions your kid, don't just shove your kid down his throat. Don't be that coach.
That's a good
Don't
point.
be that coach, man. Don't be that coach.
I was gonna say, at first, parents did catch me off guard when you said it, because you just said parents and you were like, and you put super emphasis on it. But
See how I'm not?
But at the same time, parents are getting recruited as much as their kids are getting recruited too. I've heard that a lot, but from a lot of college
That's
coaches
why.
too. So
That's why though. You got to make sure you might be spending 3 to the next 4 years hearing from this parent every day. Are you the type of parent that's gonna be in my ear every day? That's prime example. RG3. The only knock about RG3, you can Google it. The only knock about RG3 really coming out of the draft, besides his weight, was his dad being too involved. Think about what they said. Think about what they said in think about what they said in DC. His dad was calling Daniel Snyder. His dad was going over the coach's head. His dad was skipping over his position coach's head.
I see what you mean.
Don't do it to your kid.
Yeah, absolutely. Kai, do you got anything more we can ask Coach Benton here, or are we gonna let him go and let him plug everything?
Right, of
Good.
course. Coach, we appreciate you for coming on and giving us some of your time. Coach, where can they find you on social media?
Coach Aki, that's Coach AHKI. That's my Twitter at Coach Aki. Um, at Field F at FODSA Field of Dreams Sports Academy. That's our school page. Um, Field of Dreams Sports Academy.org. So it's FODSA.org. That's our website. And it also has a link to our housing, which is Campus Crossing in Tampa. You can put that in on YouTube, get a video. Hey, it's some of the best housing you'll see out here. Um, Also, if you're gonna choose another prep, make sure they have accredited classes. You want to see their housing, and you want to know about the meals. Um, what else? If you're going JUCO, you want to know that financial aid package. Um, if you're going NAI, you need to know that financial aid package. A lot of guys don't know it's about 70 some schools out here that give out scholarships, and they love East Coast kids. I get a bunch of kids offers out into Kansas, man. If you're not scared to leave home and you want to get an education for a reduced price, hit me up, man. I would help you the best that I can. Um, it's countysports@gmail.com.
All right.
Um,
Awesome.
Thank you very
so I
much.
appreciate
I
you
think
guys,
that's an
man.
important lesson right there. You got to read your paperwork.
Yes, sir. Read that fine print. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Coach Benton, thank you very much for your time.
Oh, one more thing.
Oh, wait. Yeah, go ahead.
If there are any high school seniors out here that don't think you're going to have a senior year, yes, we still plan on playing down at Field of Dreams Sports Academy. Yes, you can finish your senior year with us. You will get a diploma from America High School Online. So high school seniors, any guys that need a post grad, or you think you might need JUCO this year, you class of 2019, we have a program for you guys as well. Hit me up. We take D2 bounce backs as well. Hit me up. Thank you guys.
Thank you very much, Coach Benton. This has been episode 66 of the Just Like Brothers podcast. For myself, Laika Habibi, and my co-host Kai Jones, thank you for watching. You watch on YouTube, listen on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, all that stuff. And you know where to find us on social media. So we'll see you again next time.